how to get a tech internship in 2023. If you're a student or someone who's interested in getting an internship next summer, I have these 4 tips for you that you can follow. So number 1, start making projects. Don't solely depend on your grades. Now, this is something that I personally went through as well. I'm looking for internships during my first year at university. Like, I thought like getting good grades, getting like all A's in all computer or math classes would be enough to be able to get an internship. But in fact, no. It turns out you need to have something to present to the other person aside from your university education. Because think about it, a lot of people at the same time as you are applying for internships. A lot of people who have even like better grades than you, well, in majority of cases like way better than you, who are applying for internships. So to maximize the chances, start creating some projects. Create some stuff, like pick one platform. I have a video on my channel as well on how you can get started into becoming a software engineer. So that video covers like how you can get into this journey. So say you're a computer science student in your first year, but you still like don't have like a specialization in one thing, like in one platform. So that video covers that, so you can watch that. I'll link it in the description down below. But yeah, so just focus on creating projects. Pick something, say like over the course of winter break that's coming now, pick like say Unity, pick like app development or web development, and just create projects. Like just watch, like there's plenty of resources online. Just watch some videos, create some projects, like create some stuff that you can showcase to the other person. So number 2, start creating a portfolio. Now, say you've gone through the effort of creating projects, you've learned like a framework, you've created some stuff in it, but how do you showcase that to recruiters? Like how do you showcase what you bring to the table? And one of the ways you can do that is by having the only way you can do that is by having a portfolio. So get started on this early, create a website under your name, document all of the stuff that you've worked on, all the technologies you've used, how you did that, what was the impact from the project you created. So this one helps you track your progress, and number 2, it helps recruiters see what you bring to the table. So it helps you showcase your skills to the table. So get started on that early during the course of winter break that's coming now in a couple of weeks. Pick something, either like create a website, a game, or an app, or just pick one platform and create as much stuff within that as you can, as much as you can, and highlight that in your website or something. Number 3, format your resume. So your resume makes a difference between a good candidate and a bad candidate. So think about this. Like, so you're a student amongst millions of other students who are applying for hundreds of thousands of other students who are applying for internships. Now, how do recruiters tell which candidate like is different from each other? Because all of them are on a CS track, on a computer science track. All of them probably have good grades. So how do you tell those students apart from for an internship? Well, the first thing you do is you check what are some of the things that they've worked on in the past. That's from tip number 1, start creating projects. Second, you check their portfolio, like what were some of the projects that they did in the past, their past experiences. So that's tip number 2, starting a portfolio. And number 3 is your overall resume. They look at you as a whole, like what do you bring to the table as a whole. So I'll have a detailed video on this as well. I'll link it in the description on how you can format your resumes and common mistakes people make when creating their resumes. And tip number 3, add some numbers, add some metrics, add some quantifiable metrics that showcase impact from your past projects. Now, say this is an example. For example, I worked on a real estate app. I increased their monthly leads by X%. Or say like I worked on a COVID tracker. I helped 2,000 people track or keep up to date with this. So just stuff like this, like I think hopefully you get what I'm saying. So just stuff like this that showcase like why, like what was the impact, what was the business impact from a project that you worked on. So just add those numbers in your resume. And tip number 4, lastly, is to apply as much as possible. Like this is something that I later learned on, like how valuable this is. Like what I would do is like during my first year for an internship, I would just apply to like 1 or 2 companies, and then just like in my head I would think like, okay, I'm the ideal candidate, and I wouldn't apply anywhere else. So don't fall into that trap. Like apply as much to as many companies, to as many internships as possible across like different industries. So like for example, from like speaking from my experience, like I applied to like a traditional software engineering internship at like all the big companies, so Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, EA, which we have here in Canada, so on. I also applied to some other non-traditional like big companies, tech companies. Like one company I applied to, they were a film editor software maker. So they make like editing software, apply to that. So just across like different industries, just apply as much as possible to really maximize your chances, like apply as much as possible. So yeah, so that was it from this video. So these were my 4 tips on how you can get a tech internship in 2023. So if you're a student who are looking into, make sure you follow these 4 tips. So number 1, get started on making projects. Don't rely on your grades alone. Also make some projects, pick a framework, create a lot of stuff in it. Number 2, create a portfolio. After you've created all this stuff, all this projects, you need to showcase it in a way that's understandable, that's structured. So create a portfolio, create a website, document some of your best work, document what you did, how you did it, what technologies you learned. So this will help recruiters get a sense of what you bring to the table, like technically speaking. Number 3, format your resume. That's super important. Make your resume 1 page, keep it linearly structured. Don't avoid any type of creative or like colorful, vibrant stuff. Like just don't do that. Just keep it super simple, super basic, super professional. That actually has a bigger impact on the recruiter than just seeing all this color, like seeing 2 columns of data so they can't follow. So just keep it linearly structured, 1 pager, super simple. Add some metrics, add some numbers in it, some percentages to showcase your impact with some of your projects. And number 4, apply. If you want to get a tech internship, apply as much as possible to really maximize your chances of getting an internship. And yeah, that's about it. So make sure you like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below what videos you'd like me to make in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next video.